From like 18 to 19, I used to doubt myself a lot. I didn't really know what to do. Sometimes I'd wake up in bed and I'd just lay there watching YouTube or playing GTA Online for the rest of the day. But then on other days, I'd randomly just lock in, wake up at like 6 a.m. and grind out all of my work. But it always pissed me off because I couldn't understand why. A lot of my YouTube feed back then was also guys talking about discipline or being lazy. So some part of me thought like, well, maybe I should just take their advice and stop being lazy. But if I truly was a lazy person, then I never would have had those productive days in the first place. So I always knew that in the back of my mind, that wasn't the problem. And the thing is, nothing really changed in those days. I still woke up with like the same goals, the same brain, and I still woke up in the same bed, in the same house, in the same room, right? So it's so weird how sometimes it was easy, and sometimes it was just way harder. Back then, I used to check my phone a lot in the morning. So whenever I'd wake up, I'd grab my phone, read all of my notifications, reply to everything and everybody, and then I'd get on with my day. But on this one random day that I chose, I just randomly decided not to do that, and instead, I went to get some coffee, I did a cold shower, and when I came back to work, I put on this like 8-hour Minecraft music playlist on, and as I was working, things were like just not as hard as they used to be. Then on top of that, every like 30 minutes or so, my mentor was messaging me, just like checking in on me, saying like, hey, how's work doing? How are you getting on? And that was the first day where things really started to click for me, and I was like, this is why things are so much easier. Like, this is why some days I can't do jack shit, and now things are way more fun or way more easy. Well, maybe not fun, but just not as shit as they used to be. And the only difference was just stacking all of these habits. I was a bit confused at first because I thought that I was already doing all these habits. But when I looked back on all the lazy days that I was having, that was the big difference. I wasn't doing all of them consistently, and instead I would randomly do them whenever I felt like it. Like maybe I'd wake up early, but then I'd miss out the cold shower, the music, the mentor, or I'd do them the other way around, and I'd do all that shit, but not wake up early. I didn't change what work I was doing. I didn't magically become more disciplined or do some gay Pomodoro technique. All I did was just stack the things that made my day way more enjoyable. And I like to call those things dopamine multipliers, because I'm pretty sure it's like self-explanatory, right? But I guarantee you already use them. I guarantee you're already using some of them, but the problem you're probably having is just the same thing that I was having. You're not doing them consistently, and you're making your life way harder than it needs to be. So you're not cooked. You just need to use more dopamine multipliers, stack them on top of each other, and make your day feel easier. Once you can do that, then you're going to get better at working, and eventually you can stop using them or do whatever the fuck you want. But for now, it's like you're trying to ride a bike in a straight line, right? So it's like I was trying to ride this bike forwards, but I kept falling over because I didn't know how to ride a bike. But as soon as you attach the wheels on the side and then you start riding, no matter how shit you are riding a bike, you're still going to be able to go forward. No matter how shit you are at working, as long as you have the dopamine multipliers, you're going to be able to make some sort of progress, build some momentum, and get closer to your goal. I think the biggest change that I made was getting consistent with waking up early and just working straight away. So instead of checking my phone or instead of going on my emails, all that bullshit, I'd wake up, get out of bed, go for a piss, go get my coffee or my cold shower, and then I'd work on the first hardest thing that I could, which back then was sending LinkedIn sales DMs and trying to get people on the call. Bit complicated, but like just I was messaging people, right? That's what you need to know. Then of course, like the cold shower or the coffee, that'll all help a shit ton as well. But the Minecraft music generally helped me concentrate as well. So if you think that that's going to help you, 100% I'd recommend that. But the most underrated thing that I did was the accountability with my business mentor. So on a lot of the lazy days that I had, he would still send me messages like, hey, how are you doing and whatever. But I'd just ghost the guy. If I hadn't done a bunch of work and if I didn't really have anything to show for myself, instead of replying to him, I just close down WhatsApp, go back on YouTube, or go fucking play GTA instead. Because I felt bad and I didn't want to say like, hey, I didn't do anything again. But if I had a day where I did all of my dopamine multipliers, I already had some momentum, I already would have done some work, and I'd be proud to say, like, yeah, I've fucking done 20, 30 messages, and I'm gonna do some more. I felt proud of myself, and that reinforcement loop kept me motivated, but also building more momentum. So it just made working feel way easier. So with all of those things combined, consistently, every single day, I was making way more progress than just sitting at my desk trying to magically be more disciplined or magically work harder. So really, like, you are not cooked. You're just making your life way harder than it needs to be. Put the fucking training wheels back on the bike and just learn how to ride the bike properly. And it's the same thing with the gym. If you go to the gym with no friends, by yourself, just no music, no hype, and you don't even warm up, then of course you're gonna like get injured or have a shit day. But if you've got your boys around you, if you've got hype as fuck music playing on the speakers, if you've abused caffeine, and if you're like just hyped as fuck, warmed up, then of course you're gonna have a sick lift because you have all these dopamine multipliers on top of each other. So just do things that make your day more enjoyable and try and stack them every single day. And if you want to talk or if you want to DM me, then join the Discord, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.